Hey, welcome back. Dave-O here. Another pH meter gonna be tested. See where we're at today. Again, I don't really know if I get all the names. This is GIDIGI. GIDIGI. I want to say this was under 40 bucks. I'll put the exact price somewhere. What interested me the most about this, why I was so happy to see this, ask and ye shall receive. It takes four AAA batteries, and the batteries go. You gotta be careful, I guess, and just come on. Davey needs a little help here. I think you gotta pull up on this little clip. I think that holds it down. Oh gosh. Okay, there it goes. The clip is up. I should be. Yeah, you got to lift up on that little clip thing when it's on there. You got to flip it up a little, and then in here, as we can see, our AAAs go in, and then there's a little thing that I guess pushes them down. There we go. And then they kind of click in place, and then yeah, there's the little catch. So there is a little catch on this, and then that clicks back on place. When you take it off, you lift this up and push. Put everything back in, it comes in. They give you a spare set of batteries, and it does come with a set right out of the box. So first thoughts, nice. They do give you 3-point calibration solution. That's nice. I'm going to test their solution with, obviously, my Hanna 9813-61, which is supposedly my most accurate. Probably also let the AC Infinity have a go at it as well. Just to see if their solution's worth a damn. I think it is. Just, you got to be a scientist. Now, the only negative thing about the unboxing I can mention, the only negative thing so far, is I take off the probe. It's bone dry. Hold on. Nah, I was hoping there'd be a little saltwater taste in here, knowing that maybe somewhere along the line there was some KCl solution stuck in there. But the probe looks completely dry. Cap is completely dry. Oh man, GIDIGI, you let me down. We trying to be scientists here, and scientists need to protect their tools and their instruments. And this little glass probe that's in here, if it's dry, it's gonna die. And I'm expecting high hopes for GIDIGI before I slam this back to Amazon. Hopefully I won't. I'll keep 10 pH meters if they're good. I don't care. They're not that expensive. I'm not going to keep 10 Hannas. Hell no. That's just, that's $2,500 worth. Well, what I would do is I would sell 9 of them, and I'd buy a high-quality $1,000 benchtop if I was going to put that kind of money into a pH system. But for GIDIGI, just a little bummed they didn't wet the cap. It's funny. I've noticed and I've read, I don't even know if this thing's totally waterproof, so I got to be a little bit careful here. I've read somewhere people are now complaining. They are complaining that they get a pH meter in the mail and the tip is wet and they think it's like used. Like, oh, you guys sent me someone else's used pH meter. And I'm like, ya doofus. If your pH meter comes and it's wet, I can't think of it. If it's dry, it's going to die. We know that. I got it. Oh, the weed guy, take my saying, please. So the guy that grows the weed, I'll put his thing up. He's got, if it's dry, it's going to die. I got something to add. If it's dry, it's going to die. If it's wet, you're all set. Cool? If it's dry, it's going to die. If it's wet, you're all set. I'm free use on this. Hopefully the weed guy, I don't grow weed, but I like his channel, whatever his name is, and his accent is to die for. But, and he's wicked, bright, smart, scientist type. I don't know anything about this dude, but from what I've seen in his videos, he's spot on scientist type. I dig that. But if it's dry, it's going to die. But if your probe is wet, you are all set. I think we just got a new saying. What do you know? I made that up on the fly, by the way, before I even hit record. I didn't know I was going to be doing that. So anyway, this is going to soak for 30 minutes. It's reading 7.62. In the past, my tap water was, it just went to 7.59. 7.59. Yesterday, my tap water was 6.5. Oh, so I'm off by a whole point. Bummer. But I don't know. My tap water can vary day to day. This is the oldest dirt house, older than me even. But it's not calibrated either, which we're going to need to get to after it soaks for 30 minutes. But I'm going to get out my calibration solutions, and we're going to do it like I did it before. We're going to have a pre-soak and then an actual solution we calibrate. And I'll run this through my calibration fluids first. And then just for fun, we will test and see how on or off their calibration solutions are. So today we are having fun with the GIDIGI pH meter. Extended electrode, program upgrade, 5-in-1. Anyway, GIDIGI, we're going to see how well GIDIGI does. We're going to compare it. Again, this was under $50. I want to say this was under $40. I'll get the exact price in editing. But we're going to put it up against the AC Infinity. We're going to put it up against the $250 Hanna. And might even bring the Blue Lab into the mix. Just so you know, the one I evaluated the other day that mounts, that's staying mounted. I'm not going to pull that. So far, so good on that. You know, the installation day +1 is doing well on that, and we're gonna soak them for a half hour, and then come back and calibrate, and then see if GIDIGI is gonna GIDIGI me. I don't know. I can't come up with saying for that, but we're going to see how good this GIDIGI one is. And like I said, I'm particularly excited because it doesn't use the goofy batteries. It has a normal type of batteries, and it's under the $40 price point. Hopefully GIDIGI will come through, and I'll even calibrate the EC, which I don't really care for that much, because I got the Hucho stick, the Blue Lab Truncheon, aka the Hucho stick, as all my friends like to call it. And that thing's spot on. So I don't really need another EC meter. But again, I'm trying to just get to the bottom of what's the decent pH meter to get for a certain price point. And I don't even know why I'm bothering with this, because I already got the Hanna now. But I guess I'm making all these videos for everyone else out there. Not everyone should have to drop $250 on a Hanna. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I love the Hanna. But a lot of the hobbyists at home, people that got 10, 20 plants, maybe 2 plants, I don't know, and you're trying to do hydro and you want to know a way to measure your pH, I'm making these videos for you guys, right? So you don't got to drop $250 on a Hanna. You don't got to drop $99 on a Blue Lab stick. You don't got to drop $49 on an AC Infinity. You're going to drop $4 and buy that yellow piece of garbage Vivo Sun. I get that. Everyone does. But maybe you get a good one and it's accurate. Maybe you don't. At the very least, if you're watching any of my videos about these pH meters and the Weed Guys, although I think he just renamed his channel. But anyway, the Weed Guy, you know, you got to care for these. You got to store them properly. And all that is storing the probe. And you got to care for your probe properly, storing it in the KCl solution. And that's already been covered. So this is going to soak. I'm going to stop the video here. We're going to come back later. We're going to put him through his paces. I got my homemade distilled, and I got my tap. And we'll let this guy soak and see where he gets to. It's at 7.5 right now. And I'll be back, and we'll see what we got with our GIDIGI 5-in-1 pH meter from Amazon. Woohoo! Hello, we're back. We're trying to figure out how good our GIDIGI is. It's been soaking for a half hour. I got my test solutions out. Not using their stuff yet. That thing's been wet. Let's get going. Let's see what GIDIGI does. This is my tap water, my 7.0 stuff, or wherever it's supposed to be. And let's put it in, let's do our pre on the 7, which it looks like it's reading 76987. Okay, so that's my pre, and then from there I drop it into here. 689. I did read the manual on how to calibrate, so in order to do this right, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go get the calibration menu. Ugh, got to get the glasses because you go blind when you get older. I was attacked by ants. Probably going to make another video about that while I was waiting a half hour watching TV. Alright, so let's follow their instructions. Put it in the 7.0 solution. So there's my pre, there's my actual 7.0 solution. Stir it around. Of course, that's a good thing because you want to get the air bubbles out. So mix it around a little, wait a few seconds. 5 seconds, the little gear thing, which is this icon here. Let me see if I get everyone to see that. 5 seconds on this one is what they say to do. And before I press that, let me see what the next steps are. 5 seconds on there. The cow will display 7 flashes 3 times, and then it says OK. So I'm going to press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have any cow being displayed. Okay, you got to let it go after 5 seconds. 3 flashes of the 7.0. Says OK. So I guess that's how it works. I guess the next one we can do it all together. So I let splash him around. I did not figure out whether this guy is waterproof or not, so I got to be careful with him. I don't want to go below the sensor. And it's the same thing. I'm going to put it in the 4. And I'm going to press that same button. 5 seconds. After 5 seconds, you got to let it go after 5 seconds. And then I guess it does the rest. So let's give it a few seconds in the 4.0 solution. Now I go in the actual test solution. Shake it around. Get those air bubbles out. Now, here we're going to go 5 seconds on this guy and then let go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. Let go. Cow's flashing. Sees it's 4.0. It says OK. So we'll put it back over here. We're going to do the 10. Alright, so it's got the 10 seconds in the pre. Now I'm going to go in the actual testing solution. Shake it around. Try to get the air bubbles out. 5 seconds here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. Let go. Flashing the cow. It thinks it's the 10.0 solution, and then it gave me an OK. So according to them, this thing is actually calibrated now. So it's going to read my water at 7.4. Let's get out one of my more trusted ones, my AC Infinity. Now, he's always stored. Remember, his cap has always got... his cap always is wet, and he's always stored with the KCL solution. So for him, I can... Does he have a clip? He has a clip too. This is interesting. It looks like the clips are like the same type. I wonder if we got a similar OEM between the two. Anyway, so let him soak for a second. But I'm still going to use the pre's. And I use the pre's because from what the Hanna manual said, you want to try to get like warm up to the setting you want to test. So let's see where we're at right now. So let me put them both next to each other. Turn on Hanna, not Hanna, AC Infinity. So AC Infinity is at 7.5 and this is at 7.3. I don't know if you can see that. 7.3 over in the bottom there, 7.5 on the AC Infinity. This was calibrated. AC Infinity was calibrated within the last 2 days. It was stored properly in KCL. Whatever. Let's run through the testing, see what we get. So there's our pre. And we're going to use their testing solution, their 7.0. So, don't do this at home. I got to get the little things off. I'm going to very carefully bite them off with my teeth, which you should never do at home, by the way. All right, so there's their 7.0, there's the pre. So let's see what AC Infinity says first. I know I didn't soak them that long, but I used them yesterday. So I'm going to put AC Infinity in pre, and it hits right on 7.0 in the pre. Then I take it out, and I want to test their 7.0 solution, which it comes back at, oh gosh. It thinks their 7.0 is 7.2, according to AC Infinity. Interesting. So it thinks their 7.0 is 7.2. Interesting. Alright, so let's try their meter now. We'll hit the pre first. It hits the pre at 7.0. I think AC Infinity did the same thing. 6.9 it dropped down to, but that's fine. And let's see what the actual sample comes out at. Hmm. 7.1. Oh boy, spilling it everywhere. So, well, AC Infinity said 7.2, 7.1. That's kind of interesting. I'll tell you why that's interesting. This is supposed to be a calibration solution. It's supposed to be 7.0. And I know there's a slight adjustment for temperature, because this is 72.6 degrees. I like the temperature part of it. However, it should be, I just think it should be 7.0. Okay, so fine. So 7.1 versus 7.2. I'll put these measurements up in my thing. So their testing solution comes back at 7.2. Let's go to acid, man. Let's do some acid. Not really do acid, but I'm going to put away with that because we're not, this is the end of the calibration for today, I believe. All right, so we got our pre, and then we've got the GIDIGI 4.0 calibration solution. Do not do this at home, what I'm about to do. It's extremely dangerous. And off comes their little seal. Maybe I need to shake this up a little, which is fine. I'll shake it up a little. I got to mark these caps too. I mark my caps. Again, it's all about contaminating the sample. If I put, there's going to be residual on the cap. And if I put the 10 cap on the 7, that's going to pull the 7 up. So I always mark my caps on everything. So I put the right cap on the right jar. All right, so stop talking, Dave. Get to the test. All right, so I'm coming out of the 7.5 water, which they both read that. I'm going to pre it. So there's my pre-sample. And what does our 4.0 come out to with the AC Infinity? It comes out to 4.2, 4.2, 4.3, bouncing between 4.2, 4.3. I'll say 4.2, because it just gave me the little smiley face at 4.2. All right, so we're 4.2 on that. Now, GIDIGI time. Oh, GIDIGI turned off. All right, turn GIDIGI back on. He's freshly calibrated. Putting him in the not free. None of this is free. I spend way too much money on pH meters at this point. But, so I'm coming out of my pre, and I'm going in my 4.0 sample. Spilling it everywhere. And I get a 4.0. So it reads their 4.0 as 4.0. Let me try AC Infinity again, just in case I goofed it somehow. So we get a perfect 4.0 with the GIDIGI, reads it as 4.0. And AC Infinity, which I think is a more accurate meter, is going to read it at 4.2. So let me turn that around. I'll turn it off. Turn it back on. Sometimes that helps it. I don't know why. So they disagree by 0.2. GIDIGI thinks the 4.0 is 4.2, and GIDIGI thinks the 4.0 is 4.0. That being the case, looks like we're going to need the Hanna after all. So I'm going to put these aside because we're going to retest the 4. The 7 was close enough. I don't really need to retest 7. Do not do this at home. Off you come. Okay, so there's my pre. There's all of that. Let's start with AC Infinity. You can go in your pre. Just for fun, I want to test this one again too. The known good. Even though they look, this is called GIDIGI brand, and this is called Uzmar. Uzmar makes this one. Uzmar. Okay, so I'm at 9.1, which is fine because this is 9.18, the pre. But now I'm going to drop into 10 and see what it thinks the 10 is. So it goes into the 10, and it's 10.01, and this is calling it 10.2. So AC Infinity think it be 10.2. It just went up to 10.3. Take it out. Go back to 9. Drops right down back to the 9. Nice job, AC Infinity. And I go right back into here. 10.1. 10.1. Up 10.2. So somewhere between 10.1 and 10.2. All right. Oh, I wanted to do one last thing. I wanted to see, so if it calls their 10.0, 10.1, 10.2, let's see what it calls our original solution. Yeah, it calls our original solution 10.1. Up 10.1, 10.2. Now I went up to 10.2. So 10.1, 10.2 on the original known to be 10 solution. So I guess it's a little high. Let's see where GIDIGI's at. Going into the pre. Believe it or not, GIDIGI calls the 9, which the other one called it right at like 9.1. Calls it 8.8. Let's go into their 10 solution. Their 10 solution. $10.1. Looks like, turn this, 10.2. Looks like it calls it also 10.2. So the meters agree that this looks like 10.2. Their GIDIGI's calibration solution. Go back over here. Let's test the original cleaning the calibration solution. See what that comes out at. $10.2 as well. Okay, so everybody seems to think the 10 is 10.2. Maybe it has to do with temperature. Not quite sure. Alright, so this is where I pause the meter and I go get the instrument of truth, the $250 Hanna. See what that comes back at. I'll be right back. Hanna was used this morning, so it's not really dry. Hanna, let's see what Hanna says about the tap water. Hanna calls the tap water 7.4, just right out of the bat. Calibrated this yesterday, fairly good there. So, see what these 10.0 solutions are supposed to be. So out comes my probe. Put my probe in the pre. Calls the pre 8.8. That is interesting. This also said the pre 8.8. This said it was 9. Interesting. GIDIGI beat AC Infinity on that one. 8.8. All right. First reading. Let's see what their GIDIGI's 10 comes out to. You gotta swirl it. It calls their 10 straight up 10. Not even 10.1. It calls their calibration solution straight up 10.0. Go back to our pre. I'll put the lid back on him, I guess. That's good. That means calibration solution's correct. That means these guys reading 10.1, 10.2 is off by a little bit. Now it says 8.9 on the pre. And who knows what the pre is. This pre solution has been contaminated so much, who knows. Alright, but we're on 8.9 on the pre. Let's go with our tried and true 10 that we've been using this week. And it says our 10.0 is also 10.0. So not 10.1, not 10.2, but 10.0. Man, this is why you spend $250 on Hanna. Because you just don't want the bullshit. Oh gosh, I didn't want to cuss on my channel. I just did. You don't want the BS? You get the Hanna. 10.0, man. It's just so both of the calibration solutions look like they are going to clock out at their intended temperatures, at their intended pH levels of 10. So I got to label these caps. It looks like these calibration solutions, or at least the 10, I'm going to assume they're all probably fine. They look like the same exact ones. They probably came from the same place. They're all 10. Obviously, I'm going to put KCL. I will now store the GIDIGI properly. Looks like I'm probably going to hold on to the GIDIGI. GIDIGI, no doubt. GIDIGI, no doubt. So my GIDIGI, my GIDIGI is going to be stored properly in KCL solution. As I store properly my AC Infinity, and he goes, if it's dry, it's gonna die, and if it's wet, you're all set. Hopefully one of my favorite YouTubers, the weed guy who just changed his channel's name again, starts using that. If it's dry, it's gonna die, and if it's wet, you're all set. Woo! Okay, so anyway, that's that. I'm going to probably take... Oh, here goes the spill. Just spill it into there. Oh, gosh. It doesn't want too much extra in there. Ooh. Okay, on it goes. Where's my drying rag? Man, never have a rag when I need one. Well, that's why we have t-shirts. Is it not? Alright, so I'm going to dry this off. Little bummer is the cap does not fit as tight as the other caps do. I will probably need to take the vinyl tape and make a way to hold this cap up on. It's a little bit of a bummer. So I guess if I want to speak to GIDIGI, ship your probes out wet in the KCL solution. 2, make it so that when I put a little fluid in the cap, I can lock it on so it's not tempted to pull off. You know, and that's one thing I like about a lot of these Asian companies opposed to like American or other companies. They seem to listen to these videos and make adjustments. I would not be surprised if in the next couple months GIDIGI starts shipping us these things with the probe already stored in KCL. And in addition to that, they'll make a cap that locks on a little better like AC Infinity does. Like the other guys do, and I'll just show you what I'm talking about. See, there's KCL in there, and when I put this probe in to store it, right, you can see it totally stores it wet, and now the cap won't come off, right? This cap's on there, it's got a little seal, we're doing good. Unfortunately, I'm going to make a mess for everybody, just because... Why not? Make you too interesting. So here's my cap on my GIDIGI. Okay, maybe it's coming off a little bit. Okay, so maybe it's not as bad as I thought, but it'd be nice if it had a cap that really kind of clicked in place after you put on, after you stored it in the KCL solution. Just my thoughts to improve your product. I love the fact that it does 4 AAA batteries. Looks like their calibration solution, spot on. Gonna label these tops so I don't put the wrong top on the wrong one, contaminate samples. And yeah, I got more testing fluid, although I have a couple gallons of each of these in the mail on the way. That's all. Hopefully someone out there who doesn't already have a Hanna or more expensive meters. I'm talking to the guy who's trying hydro at home, or gal, guy or gal, who's trying hydro at home. You're thinking about getting a pH meter, or you got one, maybe you got the $4 one, you don't dig it, or it's not working, it went bad. Now you're like, hey, I'm on Amazon, I want to buy, or wherever you're shopping, I want to buy another pH meter, but I don't know which one to get. I don't want to drop $250 for a Hanna. Where am I going to find and buy my next pH meter? That's what these videos are for. If you are that person, and my information from the video is coming out useful, helpful to you, or if you're just getting any entertainment out of this, I appreciate the like. Really appreciate the subscribes. It doesn't cost you anything. Don't have to do notifications if you don't, because we get too many notifications, most of us now anyway. So would really appreciate the like and the subscribe if my videos are helpful. Helps me know that I need to make more videos. Oh, looks like we're having a little power fluctuation after 2 days of torrential rain. It just helps if you can do that. If my video helps you, help me back. But hey, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, I can send out positive vibes to everybody, and hopefully you'll have a wonderful weekend. You'll have a great next week, and happy growing 2025 grow season. And I hope your plants thrive as well as yourself. And have a nice day, and thanks again for tuning in.